Eagles. Fly Eagles are back, ready to stack. The wins in a back, ready to attack. So get out of the way, we ready to show. We are again the world champs and labeled in the history books forever as the best sports team in the world. Nick Sirianni brings the fire and passion, leading our troops on the battlefield. Why our football team shows tough detail together and dominates on defense and offense. On the battlefield as a Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts is ready to show and shut all the noise. Why dominating and holding another Super Bowl trophy? Why collecting those Super Bowl rings and Super Bowl trophies? Like honorable gold medals, Saquon Barkley hits the hole. You know it's always a light show. A.J. Brown scores a touchdown in Philly. Why the Eagles crowd yells in the stands. Hey, woo! S1K always open, never leave your DB one-on-one with him, or he might be in 4 stages of hell. Devonta Smith might be skinny, but he will make your DBs go through hell with elite ability of smooth route running and getting open. Both of those elite Eagles wide receivers, aka nicknamed Swole Batman and Skinny Batman, lined up on your 2 cornerbacks, ready to give you a heart attack. So you might want some safety help. Vic Fangio, the defensive mastermind, disguising a defensive plan to put your QB on the ground and send your best wide receivers you have on your team too. Quintamon Bay, send him to hell with the Philly white boy at cornerback, locking your favorite wide out.
All right, man. All right, bro. What is good, everybody? It's your man, EC1. Coming into a live stream today because, first of all, man, fuck StreamYard for making me pay for shit. This is why I don't like it, number one. But it's a better StreamYard than most other things, so I would have to redo everything, so I can't do class and all that shit. Pretty much can't do most things. But it is what it is. I'm here to talk football, not worry about upgrade, because I don't give a fuck about upgrade. I really don't care. All right, you know my memo. I'm tired of the Hurts hate. I really am, man. All right, we're not going to sit there and act like Jalen Hurts is just the main problem. Okay, has Jalen Hurts been playing bad? Absolutely. But, all these fucking fans need to chill the fuck out, really. It's really ridiculous. The Tanner McKee fans need to shut the hell up. He's not starting. The problem isn't Jalen Hurts, man. I keep saying it. It's the fucking coach. Nick Sirianni is a fucking issue, and it's clearly, at this point, he should be fired, and he won't. Hopefully, after this Sunday when we lose the Raiders, because we will, they fire this dude, because I'm tired of these idiots. You got the idiots trying to sit there and say, Jalen Hurts is horrible. Oh, well, why he can't win? Well, he can't win because the coach and the offensive coordinator are fucking dummies that don't know how to win with the talent they have. And I bring it up to the point where if Jalen Hurts has a Joe Brady, if Jalen Hurts had all these, everybody thinks that Jalen Hurts can win with just any coach, and it's just not that. Jalen Hurts needs the best coaches to help him. Just like Josh Allen needs the best coaches to help him. Because I bring it back to all these fucking delusional idiots. What was Josh Allen in 2023 when they had to fire the offensive coordinator in the middle of the season? Since y'all want to talk crazy. Okay, Patrick Mahomes is having one of his worst seasons. Not one person is talking about Patrick Mahomes should be benched. Okay, well, it's not the same. Shut up. You don't know football. It is the same. Because Patrick Mahomes was labeled as the GOAT. It is the same. Because it just shows you how hypocritical this media is. Patrick Mahomes is having his worst season possible. Why aren't anybody saying they should bench Patrick Mahomes? I don't want to hear it. Well, if he was on the Eagles, too, well, he's not. So why can't he not win with Kansas City? What is holding Patrick Mahomes for not getting to another Super Bowl, man? Because I'm tired of these idiots. You want to play games. This one idiot want to tell me, Jalen Hurts got to be Jalen. Look at this guy, man. The quarterback are asked to carry the team with their arms. Really? Jalen is not asked to do that. Really? Because I could swear 2023 he carried his team. These people right here, just shut up and learn football, man. It's not hard. Jalen Hurts was literally the reason why we went to the playoffs, you freaking idiot. What part do you not understand? And then when people say, "Oh well, if you give Josh Allen these weapons, blah 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 blah," then stop saying he's elite because you like to switch. They like to move the goalposts, man. Jalen Hurts is not the problem in Philadelphia. It's the freaking coach. The coach is a dork. The coach don't know football. The coach, well, he's not a dork because that requires actually him being smart. So he's a douchebag. He's a douchebag. And he's clearly killing his quarterback momentum. He's clearly killing these receivers. You got receivers goofing off in hard knocks. Okay, talk about car crashes or plane crashes. How about we learn how to catch a football? Okay. The problem is the coach don't have a pulse. And it does not matter what quarterback you bring. People keep saying Tanner McKee. Tanner McKee is not going to last with this offense line. This offense line is one of the worst offense line in football. What does Tanner McKee do to show you that he is better right now? You have no proof. You're speculating off last year's performance. You speculated off the fact that he had an offensive corner in Kellen Moore that could see the problem and fix that. We don't have that. We got a douchebag at head coach, and we got another douchebag at the offensive corner in Shane Steichen. Now, bring it up. What does Nick do? It's embarrassing that you see people try to move the goalposts. If Patrick Mahomes was on the Eagles, they'll be undefeated. You don't know that. You're hoping for that. The funny thing is you don't know that. You don't know what the fuck would happen. You're guessing. If Justin Herbert was on Eagles, he would be undefeated. You don't know that because Justin Herbert didn't do shit with the Chargers yet. So how could you sit there and say that when you don't know how that would work? Stop assuming things and just say you don't know. I'm tired of the goalposts being moved for Jalen Hurts. I really am. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks, right? Right? Because they love to move the goalposts. I asked you, and I asked people this. Jalen Hurts is having a bad year. Patrick Mahomes is 6-7, 8-5. Jalen Hurts is, by the way, 8-5. So let me get this straight. Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Don't say he don't have weapons. You're lying your fucking teeth out if you think he don't have weapons. He has weapons. Stop saying that. Okay? Great offense coaching Andy Reid. Worthy, the wide receiver they drafted in the first round. They got a legit running back in the backfield in the Kareem Hunt. Why can't he not be a... What's wrong with Patrick Mahomes now? Y'all went to... Well, he don't have... No. Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, right? Yeah, he's struggling. 3,388 yards. Jalen Hurts has 2,764 yards, passing yards. 63.1 completion percentage, 64.7. So Jalen has more completion percentages than Patrick Mahomes this season, with his worst season, by the way. For all you idiots out there that want to blame the quarterback, Jalen Hurts is outplaying Patrick Mahomes in yards per game. It's really that. It's crazy. 26 total touchdowns, 27. Jalen Hurts has more touchdowns than he does this year. 10 interceptions. Eagles, Jalen Hurts has 6. So Patrick Mahomes has more interceptions. Jalen Hurts has more receptions than he does in completion percentages. Jalen Hurts has a better record. Why aren't people talking about benching Patrick Mahomes? You don't see anybody doing this but the Philadelphia media, and I'm disgusted. Joe Gigolo is a fucking Giants fan. Want to come here and talk to me? You don't know my city, buddy. You don't know my city. You've never been part of this fan. These undercover Giant fans are on WIP, man. What in the hell is you doing? Anyway, my cat just I don't know what you do, but it's ridiculous, man. These people don't know football, and it just shows you. The offensive line. Let's take a look at the offensive line. Eagles' offensive line is one of the greatest issues. It isn't being talked about enough. They ranked the 14 overall this year. However, this unit is the exact same as last year. Besides Tyler Steen, who did get some playing time last year, Saquon is averaging just under 4 yards per carry. The numbers was under 3.6 before Chargers game. The pass blocking also has been a big issue as Jordan Mailata and Cam Jurgens have visibly struggled containing the pass rush. This has 100% been tied to the current slump of Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley performance. How do you feel about the offensive line? Well, has nothing to do with the Barkley and Jalen Hurts control. Because guess what? What we're seeing right now is, and I keep saying it's the head coach. Jeffrey Lurie needs to fire Nick Sirianni and go get Clint Kubiak. I keep saying it, man. This is not a coach problem, man. This is not a quarterback problem. This is a coaching problem. It starts with the coach, is it not to help this quarterback? Is it not? Is it not the coach's problem when you hired the wrong offense coordinator because you want your buddy friend behind you? Nick Sirianni should be fired if he loses to the Raiders this week. And it's Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman's responsibility to own up the fact that you didn't want to fire him in 2023. You brought him back when you know that team did not want him back. Okay? You didn't bother telling Nick, you don't get to pick the offense coordinator again. We already see how that train wreck. They allowed the exact same shit happen twice. That ain't the quarterback's fault. That's the front office fault. And it's the front office fault if they decide to keep Nick Sirianni because they should have fired him in 2023. Why would you bring a coach back when clearly the players weren't taking him well in 2023? We've seen the same thing happen twice, man. We're seeing things happen twice, man. And that is an issue. We don't have a winning coach. All these other quarterbacks. Hold on, let me fix this shit, man. There you go. What the fuck? Hold up, man. Let me fix this shit, bro. Nice. There you go. All right, there we go. We don't have a winning coach, man. And that's the issue, man. We got a bunch of idiots running this quarterback, man. And I just don't get it, bro. I don't understand how you have a coach who clearly doesn't know what he's doing. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. His offensive play calling sucks. Kevin Matula sucks. And if anybody thinks Kevin Matula has been a great offense coordinator, you all 22 geeks need to shut the fuck up. He's been one of the worst offense coordinators I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. This guy don't know how to call plays. He makes one good call and everything has been crap. You know what I'm saying? It's a joke, man. It's a joke. The Philadelphia Eagles need to go fire Nick Sirianni after this Sunday versus the Raiders, man. And I say this, bring an offensive mind coach, and let's see if the quarterback is the real problem. Because I promise you he's not. The offensive coordinator needs to be situated next year. You need to fire. I would just fire the offensive coordinator and head coach. What does Nick do? I keep saying it, man, because it makes me mad when people defend Nick. Nick Sirianni is the biggest problem. The goofball needs to go. The goofball is a problem. You don't have a head coach, an offense coordinator in mind. You got a guy who can't call plays, man. And it affects the quarterback's performance because when you don't have an offense coordinator to help him out, when he's changing offense corners every year, because offense corners are leaving because your coach can't call plays, it's hurting the quarterback. And everybody wants to point the finger at Jalen Hurts. Everyone will say he sucks. Well, I just watched that man win a Super Bowl. So how the hell is you going to tell me he sucks when he's been to 2 Super Bowls? It don't make sense. Don't sit there and say that man sucks when I just watch him outplay Mahomes. Don't sit there and say that he was the problem when he outplayed Mahomes not once, but twice. And he was one of the best rushing quarterbacks, best passing quarterbacks in the game in that Super Bowl, let alone one of the best performance in the Super Bowl, man. So I don't believe that the quarterback one is the issue. You idiots think that he's a problem? That's because you've been hating on him since day one. Don't sit there and say you haven't. You have. You're waiting for him to have a bag up so you can say, yeah, I told you Jalen Hurts is a bad bro. No, it's not, idiot. The coach is the problem. Learn football. Tanner McKee ain't solving nothing. That offensive line is atrocious. Wake up and smell the coffee. Goddamn freaking dumb Eagle fans, man. Every single one of them. They did this before the Vikings game, and then what does Jalen go do? He goes down there and scores. Then they say, oh, he sucks. He sucks. Shut up, man. I'm tired of these people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say this, man. We got the Raiders versus the Eagles. Kenny Pickett is playing this week. This should be Nick's last game in Philadelphia if he loses this game. I don't expect nothing to change, honestly. It would not shock me if we fold against the Raiders. Why? Because, again, it's not the quarterback that's the issue. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a coaching problem. We got a head coach who's trying to force his plays into Jalen Hurts, and it does not work. You need to go get an offensive coordinator mind. Not draft another quarterback, not put Tanner McKee, because all you idiots over there to a Tanner McKee. Shut up. Offensive mind, head coach, 2026. And then tell me if the quarterback's the problem. Because I need to see another coach that knows how to call plays. I watched Ben Johnson take a limited Caleb Williams to the playoffs. I'm sorry, not playoffs. Having a good record. He did it with Jared Goff. That's a head coach right there. A guy that could take a limited quarter. So why can't an offense corner head coach not do the same thing with Jalen Hurts? And Caleb Williams, who really, let's be real, can't really throw the ball, which no one wants to talk about. They want to point the finger at Jalen Hurts like he's the worst quarterback they ever seen in their lifetime. And it's hilarious because that's not true. It's not true. But they don't want to point the finger at Patty Mahomes, who has Xavier Worthy, pretty good receiver to me, right? Am I wrong? Travis Kelce, pretty good tight end to me. So why can't he not do nothing with the Chiefs? Why does he have to come to Philadelphia? Oh, because you idiots keep on removing the post, and that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem, man. When you got idiots who don't know football that jumped on a bandwagon and want to scream for Tanner McKee, what the fuck is Tanner McKee going to really do? Let's be real. You saw 2 glimpses of him last year against the Giants and the Cowboys with Cooper Rush. Stop acting like he's something so special. He is a backup quarterback. Anyway, Nick is only the coat of trash. Whole team is trash. Bro, you're fucking Lily. You just lost to the Lions. I would just shut the fuck if I was you. Bro, your quarterback threw 2 picks yesterday. Talk about that one. Dak Prescott has thrown 2 picks last week versus the Lions. Stop trying to act like you're better than us because your quarterback's been struggling too. Shut up. Go win me an NFC. Go. The Cowboys better win the NFC Championship game because guess what? It will be Dak's last year in Dallas. You over there talking about my Eagles. Shut up, bro. We don't want to hear from the Cowboys. Y'all haven't done nothing since the 90s. I don't want to hear from the clowns. Your quarterback's a joke, man. And guess what? Great. He's having a regular season game. I want to see what he does in the playoffs. 2-7, overrated quarterback that gets good stats in the regular season, can't win a division round, can't get to an NFC Championship game, and you want to come after my quarterback, bro, you better go lay down. It's not the time to play game with me. I'm not on that time today. I'm not on that type of time today. I will put belt to ass on you today. We could get it on today. Dak is overrated as hell. How many Super Bowls has Dak been to? How many NFC Championship games has Dak been to? None. Just shut up. Because that's my check. My quarterback's been to 2. Where's how many quarterbacks have your quarterback been to? With all that talent around him, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Ezekiel Elliott. Your quarterback still can't get it done. I would shut up if I was you. It's not the day to talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Trust and believe it. You better go lay down. Dallas Cowboy fans talking crazy. Y'all haven't won shit since the 98, bro. Go fucking lay down. Thank you for coming, though. Now get the fuck on. Fucking overrated ass fucking team, man. You lost to the fucking Lions because your quarterback couldn't throw the ball, man. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, did y'all forget that part? Did you forget your quarterback threw 2 picks? Or did you not forget that one? Hey, let me remind you, your quarterback threw 2 picks. Where's the tape? Where's the debate if Dak should be benched? Saying. You know what I'm saying? You beat the overrated Kansas City Chiefs and you beat the Philadelphia Eagles with a clearly coaching problem. You want to run around and pump your chest, man. Shut the fuck up. Get on my face, man. Go win a fucking NFC Championship game before you come talking crazy, man. You haven't done shit for the last fucking, 29 years now, counting to 30? Dak is trash, man. Overrated as hell. Can't win in the big games. And struggles against good teams when it comes into the playoffs. Talk about the playoff games, man. Stop talking about the regular season games. Talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. 2 wild card games under your quarterback, man. Don't talk about my quarterback, man. It's embarrassing. You don't want that debate, bro. You don't want that debate. You better go back to Boss Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Low, better than 5 picks. No, it's not. Because my quarterback has done something you can't do. Win a Super Bowl. That's how stupid Cowboy fans are, man. It don't matter how many picks he threw. Your quarterback can't win divisional games. Divisional round games. Your quarterback is 2-7. 2 and motherfucking 7. He's going to be 2-8 this year. You ain't going no Super Bowl, bro. You better go lay down. Not the time to play games with me today. You lost to the fucking Lions. Your quarterback was choking. And he will choke versus the Vikings this Sunday. You better go lay down. It's not the time to talk games. You will lose to the Vikings. The Vikings will come spank y'all. Yeah. We'll lose to the Raiders. You will lose to the Lions. And we'll live happily after out of the playoffs. You don't fuck with the Texas. Remember? Who the fuck is you talking about, bro? Go fucking take a timeout chair in the fucking basement, bro. Go fuck out of here with the Dallas Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys and fuck your fan base, man. Bunch of pussy-ass fucking fan base, man. Go win a fucking MC Change game before you come talking to me, little boy. Who the fuck is you talking to? I don't know who these fucking Cowboy fans think they are running around here because you got George Pickens wearing ski mask, man. Looking dumb as hell, man. Trash-ass Cowboys. Go win a Super Bowl before you talk crazy, man. Out of here with that garbage-ass fucking shit, man. Bum-ass fucking Cowboys. You haven't done shit in the last 95, since 95? Barry Switzer was your last coach to do that? Go sit in timeout, man. Fuck the Cowboys. Out of my face with that. I don't got time to deal with stupidity. Back to the Eagles, man. Got interrupted by a bitch-ass Cowboy, man. Mahomes just tossed 3 picks, should be benched. He should be. If Jalen Hurts gets benched, Mahomes should be benched too. But you know what? Let me tell you something, man. The Philadelphia Eagle fans, they're showing their true colors, man. And listen, I will never turn. This is my quarterback day one, man. This is my quarterback day one. I will never turn on Jalen Hurts in a heartbeat because I know he's not the problem. Okay, let these fucking clowns get their little moment this year because next year, when Nick gets fired and we bring an offensive mind head coach into the building, which will happen because we will lose to the Raiders, it will happen because the Eagles are just done. They're mentally finished, okay? The clip that A.J. Brown and Devontae, you know what they're talking about, really? They were talking about their season, okay? They know that their season is over with. They know this coach. That plane, when they were talking about plane crashes, they were talking about this season with Nick and KP. That's what they were talking about, the plane crash, how they were going to jump out the plane because Nick keeps on talking about tough, detailed together. Tough, detailed together. Well, toughness and detailed together ain't happening because you ain't tough and you are a weak-ass coach. The guy completely doesn't know how to run an offense. And the guys don't want to hear that. You know, you got these reports coming out from ESPN, of course ESPN, say that the Eagles will draft a quarterback. The Eagles draft a quarterback every fucking year. How is that news? The Eagles drafted a quarterback every year. They drafted a quarterback last year. They drafted a quarterback 2 years in a row. Tanner McKee is a free agent, I believe, next year, or we might be looking to trade him for picks, man. Okay? No shit, you're like the Eagles might draft. They do it every year. That doesn't mean they're trying to draft Jalen Hurts' replacement. That just means they're going to draft a quarterback because the backup quarterback is such an important position. The Eagles front office know Jalen Hurts is a winner. They've seen it. If they don't see it, well, they're fucking blind. This is the best quarterback we ever have. I don't care what these idiots have to say. Well, he can't read the defense. Well, that's funny. Then how did he beat Spags? Huh? How did he beat Spags then? If he can't read the defense, explain to me how is he beating all these elite quarterbacks in big games? Shut up. Because you sound stupid when you say that. He can't read the defense. Well, he beat Spags twice. 3 times, actually. In 2023 and 2025. And then he beats him in the Super Bowl. He outplays him in the Super Bowl and lost. So explain to me how he can't read a defense. Because Spags is one of the best defense coordinators in the game. And Jalen Hurts singularly ripped him apart. So I don't believe he can't read a defense. If you're going to talk stupid, come with better facts, please. Please come with these facts. He beat one of the passing best defense in the league in the Vikings. You just saw what they just did to that other team last week, right? You saw what they just did to the Commanders, right? I'm not saying the Commanders are good, but you saw what they did. Now everybody can beat the Vikings. The Cowboys just beat the Lions just beat the Cowboys. We beat the Lions. This is the problem with the media, man. They don't tell the truth. And you got WIP sitting there talking about, well, I'll give Jalen Hurts to the Raiders. But after that, I'm done with them. And shut up, bro. You're a Giants fucking fan anyway, in the skies, man. We don't even take none of y'all seriously. Joe Giglio is a fucking Giants fan. Hey, Joe, why don't you go be a Giants fan since you want to fucking hate Arnold quarterback? Why's you on in who hires, bro? What Philly sports station hires Giant fans? I've never heard of that until today. I didn't know Joe Giglio was a Giant fan. It shows me why this guy is always a hater. These guys are underclothes Cowboy fans. The undersized Giant fans. They're out here pretending they're Eagle fans. Man, you some bitch-ass motherfucking snake-ass fucking people, man. You don't even have the guts to even come out and say who you're really a fan of. Because you'll get destroyed in Philadelphia, bro, for just saying that shit. Then you got this one idiot on Twitter talking about Jalen Hurts ain't better than. Shut up, man. Every time I hear that fucking tweet, dude, I want to. Like, bro, these clowns don't know what they talk about. You got Chris Sims who can't read a defense talking about another guy who can't read defenses, man. It's hilarious. Chris Sims, why don't you go back and read John Gruden's playbook? You know, the one that you couldn't memorize? Why is he on TV again? What does he bring? They got this bum-ass dude, Cam Newton, crying on television because I didn't get a job. Well, you don't get a job because you're trash. And you hate on quarterbacks. They're better than you. The Philadelphia Eagles need to fire Nick Sirianni if they lose to the Raiders, man. It's simple as that. This shouldn't be Jalen Hurts' last game in Philadelphia. This should be Nick's last game in Philadelphia. Because it's Nick's job is to help this offense. It's Nick's job to get this quarterbacks right. It's Nick's job to have this team playing at a high level. It's not the quarterback. It's Nick's job to get AJ and Devontae going. You're the head coach. You're the head coach, the Super Bowl head coach. And if you can't do that job, then go get me someone who can. It's simple as that. We ain't going to sit there and act like Jalen Hurts doesn't have. We've seen him in 2 Super Bowls. If we lose to the Raiders, which would be a freaking embarrassment, because you should be able to blow this team out. If we don't blow this team out, man, you better fire the head coach by Monday. And then I want Jeff Lurie and Hal Roseman to go get Clint Kubiak out of Seattle or go get Joe Brady and bring him here. Let's see if this court, because if another coach can't get the best, okay, then I'll admit that Jalen Hurts is a problem, but I'm not going to turn on him. And if anybody thinks it's the same thing as Carson Wentz didn't win Super Bowl MVP. Last time I checked. Carson Wentz has never been to more than 1 Super Bowl in his lifetime. Carson Wentz has never won a playoff game. So when you idiots keep trying to compare him to Carson Wentz, remember, Carson Wentz never won a playoff game. This is not a Carson Wentz situation, ladies and gentlemen. This is a head coach who don't know how to call an offense. And it's hurting this team, man. when my receivers are talking about plane crashes, when they should be worrying about catching a freaking football, I have an issue with that. And I don't care how many people think it's funny that DeVonta Smith, it's nothing funny about you laughing at plane crashes when you should be catching a football, AJ. It's not funny when DeVonta Smith drops footballs and he talk about plane crashes. What does plane crashes have to do with you preparing to help your offense catch a football? I'm sorry. What does it have to do with you not catching a football for this offense? Because I didn't see Devontae go crazy last week. Did Devontae do? Oh yeah, you caught one football, but that's it. Instead of us talking about plane crashes and all, how would we worry about catching footballs? Right? Because we paid y'all too to catch a football, right? Right? Devontae, we paid you to catch a football. AJ, you keep saying you're open. I don't know. Are you closed or open? I don't know if you're open for business. You say you're open for business, but then when I see you drop 3 footballs, I'm like, is he open for business or is he closed for business? I don't know which one you are. Which one is it? You need to pick one. You know what I'm saying? This is not about, it's also about players playing in Philadelphia. You better show heart this Sunday. Okay? If you're not going to show heart for this coach, show heart for your fucking fan base. Okay? Go out there and show heart that you actually want to be part of this team. Because at this point, man, if you don't want to be here, just say that, man. Just say that. Devontae, you don't want to be? Hey, bro, I don't care at this point, right? Because if the head coach got to go and I got players who want to play lazy, then you could sit on the bench. And since we want to do this, man, I'll bench every fucking player on this fucking team. It's simple as that. If you don't want to show the fuck up, then sit on the fucking bench. It's simple as that. Hold on, what the fuck just happened? What just happened? Oh. This fucking shit pissed me off. Give me a second. Sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Computer just went blank. But anyway, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I definitely say that fire Nick. If the Eagles lose out, you still defend KP, expecting us to have him. I put KP for, and I know a lot of people are going to say this, but I'd fire Nick Sirianni on Monday if we lose the game and make KP the rest of the coach for the season. And I'll say this why, because number one, you can't just fire the head coach and offense coordinator. You need someone in that building to at least galvanize. But I want to see if it's really KP. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's KP, man. I don't think it's KP. I think this is Nick's offense being ran, forcing KP to call certain plays because we know KP. We've seen creative plays. I mean that fake. What was it? The fake. The quick handoff to Saquon Barkley for a touchdown. That was KP. That wasn't Nick. You know what I'm saying? We know that KP has some plays, man. But it's like Nick Sirianni has been there for 4 years. 4. Okay. Nick Sirianni should be the first one out the door if we lose on Monday. On Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. Because we have been defending this guy. Jeff Lewin Harrow has been defending this guy in 2023. Right? They said he wasn't the problem. Right? They go and get Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore goes and Nick wins the Super Bowl. And now we're back to square one. You cannot continue to have this. This is a problem with the coaching. This quarterback is starting to lose momentum because the coach is forcing him to play in a system that does not fit him. And this is why I say, when everybody keeps on bringing Josh Allen, Josh Allen has an offensive coordinator more than 2 years. Just stop all that. Right? Give Jalen Hurts the exact same offensive coordinator for 2 years straight that actually is productive. And you could see how much Jalen Hurts would improve. All these other quarterbacks have offensive coordinator more than 2 years. You telling me that your quarterback has our quarterback has literally nobody under 2 years as his offensive coordinator. Everybody is changing offensive coordinators. I'm sorry, the quarterback is changing offensive coordinators every year because the coaches that the offensive coordinators that win Super Bowls are leaving to be coaches. Shane Steichen, that was Jalen Hurts' first NFL coach of the offense, right? Doug Peters was the first head coach. The offense coordinator was officially Jalen Hurts' first offense coordinator in 2021-2022. He leaves and goes to the Indianapolis Colts, right? Then you have Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson does nothing, but he leaves and goes to the Washington Commanders. Then Kellen Moore comes here. Kellen Moore concedes with Jalen Hurts. He leaves and goes to the Saints. And now you got another offense corner in Kevin Patullo. and he's doing nothing. And this is Nick again. Nick is running the show. And, it's a problem, man, because when you have a quarterback that has to continue to learn under the new system every year, and he can't get used to an offense because offense are changing nonstop because his offense corners are walking out the door or they're becoming head coaches, it's going to mess up the quarterback's mind because now he has to know, okay, I got a new offense coordinator. I got to learn this. But then the next time I got to learn a different offense coordinator. And it messes up the quarterback mindset. No other quarterback, I believe, is going through this. Give Jalen Hurts a offensive coach mind, not a coach who can't call plays. I want a offensive coordinator coach mind in the building. I want a coach who can call plays. And we don't have that. It would make so much a difference if A.J. Brown had a guy like Klint Kubiak in Philadelphia as the head coach. Why? Because he can call plays. If a guy like Joe Brady comes to Philadelphia, you have A.J. Devontae and Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. This offense is unstoppable. I'm sorry to say, you have so much talent on this offense. And you got the stupidest head coaches that you've ever seen take this team and literally throw it down the toilet. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, man. And Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman should be accountable because they seen this coming and they didn't do a damn thing to fix it until it was too late. It really is. And that's just my opinion, man. So I'm sorry. No, KP is the problem. No, I don't think so. I think it's Nick's the problem, man. Because KP is part of the problem. This is Nick's offense. Nick is running this offense. This is Nick and what he wants. Like Desi Gonani, I know we can just blame the offense coordinator. Offense coordinator, I would get rid of him too. I think he stinks too. I get rid of the quarterback coach. I get rid of the offense coordinator. I get rid of the receiver coach too because I don't think he does a damn thing, honestly. Okay? The head coach is running his system, and it's not Jalen Hurts that is succeeding. Jalen Hurts needs a system that fits him. We're putting a square peg in a round hole and expecting Jalen Hurts to succeed, and it does not work like that. You cannot put a quarterback in a system that does not fit him and expect him to work like that. It don't work. And we've seen this with quarterbacks. We've seen this over and over again, and when does it stop? You drafting another quarterback ain't going to help because all you're going to see is the same shit over and over again. And dude, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman look themselves in the mirror and say, dude, we got to stop trying to get puppet coaches into the building and go get an offensive mind head coach, someone who can get the best out this quarterback, someone who can get the best out this receiving core, someone who can actually call freaking plays. You wouldn't have to hire an offensive coordinator every year if your offensive coordinator, if your head coach knew how to call plays. You wouldn't. You wouldn't have to worry about Shane Steichen or Kellen Moore have to leave or a new offensive coordinator have to leave if your coach can call freaking plays. All these other coaches that are in this league can call plays. Dan Campbell can call plays. Shane Steichen can call plays. McVay is the head coach for the Rams. He doesn't need to worry about his offensive coordinator leaving because he can call plays. Nick cannot call plays, and it's affecting the quarterback. The quarterback is not the main issue. It's the coach because the coach has limitations. You want to talk about a limited quarterback? How about the limited coach? We want to talk about the quarterback so limited. Well, the coach is so limited too because what does he do? He can't call plays, and he messes up the whole chemistry. It's the same stuff, man. It's the same scheme that we have ran in 2021. We've ran in 2023 for half of the year. When does it stop? When does it stop? So no, I'm not going to sit there and say the quarterback is the issue because I know what the quarterback is capable with an offensive coordinator in mind. I've seen it 2 times already with Shane Steichen. He went to the Super Bowl. In 2024, with Kellen Moore, what does he do? He goes to the Super Bowl and beats Patrick Mahomes, single-handedly outplays him. So don't tell me that it's just the quarterback, because you're lying. You're lying. You're lying through your teeth if you think it's just the quarterback. It's not. Quarterback is the part of the problem. He is the part of the blame. I'm not saying he's the blame, but it's the coach. The head coach is calling these plays because it's his offense. He's running the Indianapolis offense that don't work for the quarterback. It don't. You need a head coach that can come and fit what Jalen Hurts' his needs is. We need a friendly offense. This is not a friendly offense. This is not a quarterback-friendly offense. What the hell are we talking about? This is a let me see what Jalen Hurts can do to bail me out offense. And that's not an offense. There's no design routes, no design motion, none of that. We see one good play, and we hope that Devontae and A.J. Brown can catch something big and move the chains. And it shouldn't be that way. We should be able to design plays for each and every receiver. That is an offensive mind head coach. Someone who could look at A.J. and Devontae and Saquon and say, how do we get the best out of these guys? How do we get the best out of a Super Bowl MVP that we know he has it? And what is the quarterback coach doing to fix Jalen Hurts' accuracy? That's a problem also. When a quarterback coach is sitting there not letting Jalen Hurts know, hey, you gotta hit that dude right there, man. What are they teaching him in the practice? Because his footballs are so far away sometimes. And then you see sometimes where the receivers are not hustling. So what are we teaching them? What are we teaching the receivers? When the quarterback is looking, you're supposed to come back to that ball. That ball's not supposed to come to you. As a receiver, you're taught to come back to that ball. That's what you're supposed to be taught. What does Aaron Moorhead really do? Get him out of here. Michael Clay can go also. I've been tired of him. The only guy that's been producing at high level as a coach is Vic Fangio and his defense of coordinators. That's it. If you don't think the head coach is a problem, then I don't know what you want me to say. He is. And no, I'm not putting Tanner McKee in the game because Tanner McKee would be stupid because it's not the quarterback, man. The quarterback is not going to be an issue if you have an offensive mind head coach who can call plays that can simplify for Jalen Hurts. I know Jalen Hurts has limitations. Every quarterback has limitations. Why do people act like these quarterbacks don't have limitations? Josh Allen doesn't do everything perfectly. You guys are bozos for sitting there acting like Jalen Hurts is sorry as hell and he was carried. Well, if he was carried, then how do you explain 2023 when he went 10-2? Huh? Because I watched my quarterback be in the MVP conversation 3 separate times. You don't get there by being carried. So stop with that, man. Because it's a joke. It's a lie. The problem is we got a head coach a problem. And if the Raiders, we lose this Sunday, Nick should be fired. This shouldn't be Jalen Hurts' last game in football. This should be Nick's last game. Nick needs to fight for his job. You got a Super Bowl roster that you're wasting again. This is going to be the second time we have a potential collapse. When does Nick get held accountable? We going to bring him back for another year with the same players? No, you can't do that, bro. If the team is not playing for him, you got to get him gone. He got to go. He got to go. Adios, Nick. Thank you for coming, but we can't deal with you anymore. Jeffrey Lurie needs to put his stamp on things, man. He needs to understand that if the coach is not being listened to by the players, you have to go get a coach that can get these players' attention. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, Jalen Hurts is the price. I'm telling you, he's not the issue. He's part of the issue. He's been playing horrible. But it's the system that he's in that does not fit him. And these people don't get that. We've seen this already in 2023. We already see how bad it can get. We're seeing it again. When he has an offensive mind head coach or a guy who could, offensive coordinator, he's done it fine. He's been very good. Kellen Moore got the best of Jalen Hurts, and we would think Jalen Hurts is the problem. Come on, man. Read the room. It's an absolute joke, man. He said, honestly, I think this is the end of Sirianni like they did Doug Peterson. Good, and I hope it is because honestly, we shouldn't have been fired, Doug. We should have let Doug listen, man. Doug Peterson at least will have this team fighting. This coach is a cheerleading freaking coach, man. That's all he is. And then Jeffrey Lurie better not hire another. I'm tired of the Andy Reid tree. I'm tired of the Amplis tree. I want a McVay type coach. Go get me Clint Kubiak. That's the guy I want. I want either Clint Kubiak or Joe Brady in Philadelphia as the head coach next year. Why? Because I watch him what he does with Josh Allen, and I watch what he does with Sam, and the other guy I watch what he does with Sam Darnold. If you watch Clint Kubiak's offense, the way they have design routes, the way they have cross patterns, the motion, that is what our offense needs. We don't have that. All these other coaches that are coaching these players, they're calling their own plays. And we got a limited coach. You want to talk about a limited quarterback? Okay, well, it doesn't help when you have a limited coach. So what are we talking? We're not going to act like Nick Sirianni is calling the greatest game plan of all time and Jalen Hurts is just that bad. Okay? Stop acting like that's the case because it's not. Nick Sirianni isn't a good play caller. Nick Sirianni putting his offense in the game is not helping. And the players are affected by it. It's not just AJ, it's not Jalen, it's Devontae now. Devontae start dropping footballs now. It's becoming a big issue that your whole offense is starting to fall apart. The offense line is horrible. That's part of the problem also. We need to get, instead of drafting a quarterback, Howie Roseman needs to draft offense lineman next year. We need to draft another DB because I think other than Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, you don't got a number 2 corner. Or you got to trade for one or someone like that. But, you know, I don't want to talk off season because it is what it is. I hope this the offense can fix its ways, but I don't see it. It's a very disappointing season, man. We expected Super Bowls. And it's sad that our head coach can't figure out his own flaws and try a different way. But instead, he puts his hand in the freaking cookie jar once again, where he's been doing that, and now he's making it more of a problem by putting his hand in the cookie jar because now we know who's calling plays now. You're getting too much involved. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have been involved in the first place. You should have let the goddamn offense corner know that he should be allowed to call plays. Or you should have got an offense corner outside the building. Nick Sirianni hiring Kevin Mutullo should get him fired this year. Because that is a stupid move by the coach. You don't do that to a Super Bowl roster. This is so much disgraceful, pitiful decision by Nick Sirianni. It's going to cost him his job, unfortunately. And you know what? Nick, really, to be honest, doesn't deserve a better leash than Doug Peterson because Doug Peterson at least had this team fighting. Nick Sirianni can't fight for his team. Why should the players fight for him? And they're not. You got goofballs. I mean, Nick Sirianni's record in the playoffs. I don't give a damn what his record is. Now, show me Nick Sirianni versus when he has no Jalen Hurts and tell me what his record is. Oh, okay. Yeah, Gardner Minshew was success, right? All right. Kenny Pickett was success? Okay. All right. Deuce Stanley literally wanted Hines Ward as his wide receiver coach if he was our coach. Imagine that. Hey, man. If Hurts goes another 4 interception, yeah, benching narrative will be off the charts. I don't think he needs to be benched, man. I think the quarterback should play out the season, man. I think you fire the coach if you lose to the Raiders and you see what he is. If he continues to struggle with a different coach, like you make KP the head coach after Nick gets fired. Let's see what KP can do. If KP can't do nothing, you go get Clint Kubiak because, like, listen, man. If this is Nick's offense, then we find out the whole time that Nick has been running things, and now he's more involved. I mean, the fact that I'm watching 2 different offenses being ran, like we know KP can somewhat call plays because we've seen it, and I think Nick is once again getting into the headset and calling his own shots. And I think it's fucking up the chemistry. I think you're messing up the quarterback's mindset, in my opinion. That's just me. That's just me. I mean, I'm not blaming the quarterback. Nick is the main issue. The guy hired KP who's failing to be an offense quarter who doesn't even exactly. And that is a problem, man. That is a problem. You know what I'm saying? This offense has been a problem. because Nick can't call plays. Nick is a horrible coach right now, and everybody want to point the finger at number one or uno, and it's not him. This coach is a freaking idiot. He doesn't know how to run an offense. He doesn't know how to make offensive changes when it's necessary. He's out here talking about I won't bench the quarterback. Well, honestly, you're right. You shouldn't have benched the quarterback because you're the freaking problem. I hope to God you don't bench the quarterback because then you will look even more worse with Tanner McKee out there because your offensive line can't block. And I'm tired of these idiots running around with McKee. McKee cannot run an offense right now. This offense is broken. You don't put a backup quarterback in a situation where he's a statue when the offensive line can't block. Why are idiots even talking like this? What happened to offensive line has to block in order to way to have success? Jordan Mailata hasn't played good. He hasn't. Cam Jerkins has been banged up. I think Tyler Steen is trash. Dickerson is always injured, banged up, and he's not fully healthy. You don't have Lane Johnson. That could be a part of the problem also. The offensive line is a huge problem. We've always been happy to have an offensive line that was at least elite. And we don't have it this year. And I think that's messing up a lot of things. But I also think it doesn't help when you have a head coach who's limited. Because everybody wants to put the finger at Jalen Hurts. Well, the head coach is limited. He can't call plays. And he runs an offense that doesn't fit the quarterback and what he is. They're trying to make Jalen Hurts into a pocket passer. Well, that's not his game. His game is he is a mobile quarterback that can get out the pocket and use his legs and make things happen. And he can throw some footballs. Throwing footballs 50 to 60 times is not his game. Why are you making Jalen Hurts a pocket passer? He is not a pocket passer. I don't understand that. And it irritates me that this coach is defiant and wants to force Jalen Hurts into something he's not. That's like saying Patrick Mahomes, stay in the damn pocket and don't move at all. That's not gonna help him. That's like saying to Josh Allen, we want you to be a standard pocket passer. Don't move outside the pocket. You stay in the pocket. He's not going to be Josh Allen. So why are we doing this to Jalen Hurts? Why? Why are we forcing Jalen Hurts to be something he isn't? Because we know Jalen Hurts can throw the football. But what we're doing to him is saying, you can't run. We want you to stay in the pocket, and we want you to run this offense. And Jalen Hurts said, I can't run this offense. This offense is terrible. Nobody's getting open, and you want him to elevate everybody while his coach sits there and doesn't elevate himself. That don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You have to be a quarterback's mentor and give him an offense that he's comfortable with. That is your job as a head coach, right? Is to help your players. And you don't hire offensive coordinators that don't know how to call anything. And Kevin Patullo is one of the worst offensive minds I've ever seen. And I will be shocked if he ever gets a head coaching job. Because anybody who looks at Kevin Patullo and says, that guy's a winner. Where? This offense is a joke, man. And everybody want to put the thing at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is the problem. Jalen Hurts is the problem. And I know it's a sexy thing to say because that's what gets you your clicks. It's not. This is the coaching problem, man. And it starts with Nick. Nick has to go. Nick has to get the boot if he loses to the Raiders this Sunday. You have to fire the coach, man. And you need to go get an offensive mind head coach who can call his own plays, that is creative, that helps the quarterback have a rhythm, that doesn't need to look over and wonder if his offense corner is going to leave him because he knows his head coach can at least call plays. It makes me mad because I look at A.J. Brown and I say, you put him in Chicago right now. The man is having a blast right now. You put Devontae Smith in another offense right now. Will you put anybody in this offense right now in another offense that has a coach who can get the best out of these guys? You're going to see dominance. And it pisses me off when you got goofball analysts like Dan Sileo, the fat slob that he is, over there to a Jalen Hurts Limited. First of all, man, shut up, bro. You are a goofball weirdo who keeps on dick riding these Eagles. When have you became an Eagles fan? Because you never have. So don't sit there and open your mouth when you don't know shit. These guys piss me off, man. I'm tired of these nincompoops talking when they have no facts. Tanner McKee don't solve nothing. What is Tanner McKee going to do? He's going to get hit a lot. Because when Tanner McKee sees oh shit, these receivers are not going to get open. I got to move. Well, you can't move, numbnut. You're going to be standing in that pocket. So when people scream for Tanner McKee, think before you talk, please. I'd advise you to do that. Because the offensive line is a problem also. They're not blocking well. They're not. They're the 14th ranked. We were the number one offense before. We're not even the number one offense this year. Our offense has been banged up. That is the huge problem. When your offense can't block, your running back can't get going, your offense can't block, your quarterback can't have time because he's hearing footsteps. That's another problem. I think Jalen Hurts is hearing footsteps. Jalen Hurts is hearing footsteps, ladies and gentlemen, because this offense is atrocious. It's one of the worst. And Jalen Hurts has to know, oh my God, these guys ain't blocking. I got to make something happen. And that's when the interceptions start because he's trying to play hero ball. Some of the throws that Jalen Hurts made wasn't bad. The receivers dropping footballs. The two picks that everybody want to talk about, the ball hit off the receiver's hand. A.J. Brown got to make that catch. Got to make that catch. Jahan Dotson had the ball tipped in his hands, bouncing off into the defender's hand. That wasn't a bad throw. If you look at the play, the last play, that hit off the hands of Jahan Dotson. Got to make that play, man. I always say this, and everybody else, and I've seen people say this too. If the ball hits your hands, you got to make that play. You got to make that play. I don't care if it's a tough play. You're getting paid to make those plays, man. Jahan Dotson wants to get paid next year. You got to make that play. You got to make your quarterback look like that he's a genius sometimes. Sometimes the receiver has to make the quarterback look right. Even if it's a tough catch, you got to make that play. A.J. Brown got to hustle, man. He got to hustle. And Jalen Hurts can't do it all himself, man. You have to get, that's the problem. It freaks me out. I mean, it freaks me out. It makes me mad because this coach is ridiculous. And he says the stuff like, oh, we're going to get it fixed. But you're not, bro. You're not. Just stop saying that. Stop saying that, man. So that's just how I feel, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm on a tangent because I just want to know when this coach is going to get fired, bro. I want him gone. I want an offensive-minded head coach. I want to see what this offensive-minded head coach can do with these players. I know this offensive-minded head coach would get the best out of these guys, and it frustrates me. We got a limited coach. Everyone don't talk about the limited head, quarterback. Well, it's a limited head coach too. So what are we doing, man? If Hurts goes another 4 interception, yeah, the bench narrative will be off the charts. Well, you know what? They can talk about benching. They're not benching him this year, so they can shut up, man. Tanner McKee is not coming back anytime soon. He's not going to be the starter. He's not coming here to be the starter. He's not going to get the starting job. This is Jalen Hurts' fucking team. So anybody can say whatever they want. He's not starting. Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman are not going to look at Jalen and say, oh, he's the fucking problem. If they bench Jalen Hurts, it's going to be because the season is over with. And they're going to fire the head coach and they're going to go get offensive-minded head coach. Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman are not going to get rid of players when they know the coaching is the problem. They're going to look at Nick and say, what are you doing? What are you doing? They didn't pay A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and go get Jahan Dotson and Saquon Barkley to watch a coach who can't call plays. They're going to fire the coach and they're going to go get an offensive mind. I'm telling you right now, Clint Kubiak will be the head coach in Philadelphia next year, in my opinion. He will. And you will see Jalen Hurts be your quarterback again because it's not the quarterback. This is a head coaching problem. And Jeffrey Lurie knows this because he's seen it already. We acting like this is the first time we've seen this. This is the second time the head coach has collapsed in front of a talented roster. He shits the bed when he doesn't have an offense corner. And it makes me irritated that we do not fire him and go get offensive mind. We should definitely be firing Nick Sirianni if he can't get it right. He should be the first one to go. He should be in the hot seat after 2023. His leash should not be that long. Even after the Super Bowl win. I would have never paid Sirianni. I didn't want to pay him. I would have let his contract run out. If Hurts had goes to the, well, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Listen, we can't spell we can't just talk about the quarterback without talking about everything, man. It starts with the offense line, it starts with the coaching, it starts with everything. The quarterback is the last thing I'm worried about, man, honestly. And yeah, Jalen Hurts will continue to struggle because the coach is not putting him in the right position. But he's not. And it reminds me of these other quarterbacks that have bad coaches, right? I remember, for example, Aaron Rodgers had Mike McCarthy, and they couldn't do nothing until they got LaFleur. And suddenly Aaron Rodgers had his best season. All it takes is a coaching change sometimes to get the best out of these guys, man. And I'm telling you right now, Clint Kubiak would be the greatest thing to ever be in Philadelphia, man, because I like his offense, man. I would go get Lincoln Riley. I'd go get someone who knows how to call plays. Get someone who can call freaking plays, man. Don't get a guy like Nick Sirianni who sits there and says he can call plays when he can't. Can't. And he lied in his resume. He said he was an offensive guru. Yeah, right. You were. You're full of crap. You know what I'm saying? You're not offensive guru. You're offensive disaster. Okay? Nick Sirianni is an offensive disaster. Anybody want to hire Nick Sirianni, just know your quarterback will never be the same because your quarterback's going to have to worry about over and over again if he's going to have an offense coordinator. Because he can't call plays. Nick Sirianni is no different than Brett Brown for the Sixers. We had a Brett Brown as a head coach, and we expect Jalen Hurts to be the superstar. Come on, man. What are we doing? You need coaches to get the best out of players. And I don't know why people don't see that. We acting like Josh Allen don't have an offense coordinator more than 2 years. Josh Allen has had Joe Brady for the last 3 years, I believe. Patrick Mahomes has Andy Reid as his offense coordinator, head coach. McVay is Matthew Stafford's offensive mind head coach, where he doesn't have to worry about every year an offense coordinator leaving, man. Only Jalen Hurts has this issue. And we're going to look at the quarterback and say, yeah, you're the problem? Come on, man. What are we doing? I see all these other quarterbacks have success because they have an offensive coordinator more than 2 years, or they have an offensive coach that can call plays. You wouldn't have to go get an offensive coordinator if your coach can call plays. But he can't. And it clearly shows every time he takes over the coaching. And the system does not fit a quarterback. We need to get an offensive mind head coach who can create designs for these guys. Because I'm sorry, when I look at Clint Kubiak and I see what he's doing in Seattle, I say, imagine what he's doing in Philadelphia as a head coach. Look what he's doing with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, are you serious? You telling me he can't get the best out of Jalen Hurts? You telling me a guy who's a statue? You telling me right now with Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley that offense wouldn't go crazy with an offensive mind head coach? You see how explosive these guys are, and you watch this coach, and it's like he's limiting these guys from being what they can be. And that is a dangerous team, man. And it pisses me off. I get so frustrated seeing that coach is sitting there with his arm crossed, and I say, man, when is he going to freaking go? Because it's really, it makes me mad that you have two capable receivers and you got a franchise quarterback and you are literally putting them in a situation where they're not able to eat. It's a joke, man. It's a waste of a fucking roster, honestly, for Nick to do this. I feel so bad for Vic Fangio. They used to see a nincompoop on the other side and say, my God, this coach stinks. This coach is horrible. It's time to fire the douchebag, man. It's time to fire the Italian douchebag, man, and get him out of here. He should have been out of here in 2023. And I blame Jeff Lurie and Hal Roseman for leaving him stay because he should have been gone. When the first time you collapsed, you should have fired his ass that day. That day. After that season. This better be his last season, man. Because if he loses to the Raiders or he loses one of those games, these last 4 remaining games, he should be fired. I don't give a damn if it's against the Bills. You better fucking win that game. You better win that game. If you lose to the Raiders or the Bills, you should be fired. He should be fired anyway. He's not a good coach. And I'm tired of these people running around into what Jalen Hurts is the issue. If you think Jalen Hurts is the issue and that's the main issue, you don't know fucking jack ball. You do not know jack shit. You are another casual who looks at the quarterback and you blame him just for the flaws of this coaching staff and this office line. Just go sit there in a little damn corner and mind your damn business and shut up and let grown men talk. Because it's not just the quarterback. It's a bigger problem. If you think Tanner McKee is going to come in there and change the game, you are the biggest idiot of all of them. It's not the quarterback. Stop blaming the quarterback and understand we have a bigger problem because we've seen this already. We've seen this in 2023. Everybody swarming down Jalen Hurts was horrible. And then we go get Kellen Moore, and lo and behold, wins the Super Bowl. Outplays Mahomes. These Eagle fans make me mad because they have tunnel vision, man. And you know, some of these Eagle fans are fake as hell, man. They over there, you know, this one Eagle fan has a bio in his jersey, but he over there said, Kyrie Roseman had a call for Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You don't think it would trade Jalen Hurts? Blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, why the fuck would the Ravens trade for Jalen Hurts, number one? Number two, why would anybody, I mean, no way in hell Howie Roseman would look at Lamar Jackson. You know what? That guy might be better. No, absolutely not. What has Lamar Jackson done? Lamar Jackson has talent, and yet he can't get it done. Just shut up. Shut up. And number two, I don't think the Bills would move Josh Allen if they wanted to. Because they know he has limitations, but they also know they get the best out of him too because they got coaching staff that's willing to put the best for him. We don't got that with Jalen Hurts. We got a guy who's taking our coach who don't deserve to be a coach to the playoffs. And we look at Nick and say, oh, he's a great coach. No, he's not. He's a guy that's getting carried by our quarterback. But then they say the quarterback is one getting carried. Well, hold up. If the coach can't call plays, how the hell is he getting carried? So you're telling me that the quarterback is getting carried by the limited coach? Because the coach can't call plays. Nick Sirianni is not an offensive mind head coach. Doesn't know how to call plays. So how the hell is the quarterback being carried? Explain that to me. When his offensive coordinator has been changed every year, you expect him to learn the system quickly and process it quickly, and then poof, he knows the system already? Like, come on, man. You guys are living off the fucking Madden era. Stop living off the video game and come back to real world. Where quarterbacks need more than 2 years of an offense coordinator to get an offense right. When you keep changing an offense, your quarterback is starting to get confused. And that is what happened, man. We have an offense of head coach offense coordinator being changed every year. And we want to point the quarterback and say, well, you're supposed to make this thing work. Oh, you can't do that? Well, you suck. You're trash. Get out of here. And then it's like, bro, like, dude, the coach is not doing nothing. Oh, no, it don't matter. The quarterback is, remember, he's one of the ones, right? They love to use that. Now they're saying, oh, no, but I thought he's better than Joe Burrow. I thought he's better than Josh Allen. He is, because Josh Allen has more than 2 years of an offense coordinator, dipshit. Now give Joe Brady Jalen Hurts and let's see what he does. I keep saying it. Give him that offensive coordinator and let's see what he does. You don't want to do that because you know what's going to happen. But unfortunately, you're going to realize, oh my God, it's going to happen because when Nick gets fired, the Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman better go say, you know what, let's go get Khalid Kubiak and let's see what this offense could do before we decide to draft a quarterback. At least give Jalen Hurts one more year with a different coach and see what he can do. Don't just get rid of the quarterback when you know your quarterback's been there for 2 years in a row in the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, man. We're not talking about the playoffs. These other quarterbacks can't make it. And we got a quarterback who's made it twice, man. So don't tell me it's just the quarterback, man. Don't tell me he was getting carried. How was he getting carried? When he's taking Nick Sirianni to the playoffs at 10-2. Nick Sirianni didn't do shit to deserve that 10-2 record, if you want to be real. What does he do? Can't call plays? What does he do? I keep bringing it up because people don't want to tell me. They want to bring up the record. What record? You mean when Jalen Hurts was the quarterback? So what? I thought Jalen Hurts was being carried. So Nick's a good coach? No, he's not a good coach. So how is he being carried if he's an offensive coordinator every year? Make that make sense to me. Y'all reaching for every little thing to try to bash Jalen Hurts, but meanwhile, you make yourself look stupid because isn't Matthew Stafford being carried by the defense? Wasn't Matthew Stafford carried in the Super Bowl by the Rams? Oh, y'all don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it, though. Wasn't Matthew Stafford carried by the Rams with Odell Beckham Jr., Cooper Kupp, Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald? I think so. Last time I checked. That's what happened. But they don't want to talk about. I want to know where all these analysts again. Where's their film breakdown with Matthew Stafford sticking it up versus the Panthers? I'll wait because I haven't seen one. I haven't seen that yet. Let me know where in the film breakdown is when Matthew Stafford was throwing absolute ducks against the Panthers. And you tell me where when that film breakdown's happening because y'all want to point out the Jalen Hurts film breakdown. You just say he missed some wide receivers. That's y'all sexy thing to do. But I want to see when the film breakdown is when Matthew Stafford versus the Panthers. When's that coming out? Huh? When Matthew Stafford film breakdown being broken by all these geeks who want to make all 22. When you going to break down the Matthew Stafford film? Huh? When's the Dak Prescott film coming out for the Lions? When's that coming out? Okay. The Patrick Mahomes film, is that coming out soon? Okay. Lamar Jackson, is that film coming out soon? Okay. What about Joe Burrow when he threw 2 picks against the Buffalo Bills? Is that coming out? Okay. Just wondering. Y'all want to talk about my quarterback, but meanwhile, these other quarterbacks can throw 15,000 picks, and you would say nothing. But, well, he don't have this. No, stop doing that. Because now you're moving the goalposts. If you want to do it for one quarterback, you better do it for every other damn quarterback in this goddamn league. Lamar Jackson should not have any excuse. They should be talking about benching him. Because he hasn't done equivalent to what Jalen Hurts did. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls, and this dude in Baltimore, who they call solely the elite quarterback, can't take Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, 2 legit tight ends, and offensive line that's elite to a Super Bowl, man. So when is Lamar Jackson getting benched? When's Joe Burrow getting benched? Throwing 2 picks with talent like that? Okay. I'm waiting. Lamar Jackson threw his first touchdown last week. If Jalen Hurts had that, people would be bashing him and screaming for McKee even worse. But these other quarterbacks can get away with so many shit. But my quarterback has won a couple bad streaks of games and is all hell break loose. Y'all need to relax. God damn. Every quarterback every year has bad games. But it starts with the coaching because Nick has had all 4 years of bad years. And he's been carried by this franchise quarterback. He's been carried and carried, and they point the finger at my quarterback. I mean, they should be pointing at him. He don't elevate nothing, man. I keep saying it, man. It's not the quarterback. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say, man. I'm tired of these people talking about this is the quarterback. It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. Hey, fuck out of here, man. It's not just the quarterback, bro. It's the bigger picture, man. You got to look at the bigger picture. If these people want to talk about it's just the quarterback, you are idiots. Every single one of y'all are idiots. If you think Tanner McKee is going to fix the problems, you are literally smoking crack. Tanner McKee does not solve nothing at all. At all. And I'm tired of that. Because all these Tanner McKee fans, some of them were bandwagon ass Eagle fans that jumped on the bandwagon. Or you would just been waiting for Jalen Hurts to have a bad game. Man, we know you're a fake ass Eagle fan, or you one of those hating ass Eagle fans that hate Jalen Hurts from day one. Shut up, man. We don't want to hear you. You were quiet as a mouse as Jalen Hurts was winning the Super Bowl MVP, man. And now you want to come out of nowhere. Be quiet, bro. It's an absolute joke, man. It's gotta be part of your Vic Fangio's live, by the way, as Eagles press conference. I love Vic. It's a joke, man. It's a joke, bro. I'm tired of this, man. I'm tired of this, bro. I want a offensive mind head coach, man, and that's all I gotta say, bro. I got no more anything more ammo to say, man, because we already know what the problem is. It's the head coach, man. Until this head coach is out of Philadelphia, we are going to see the same problems over and over again. We're going to hire offense corner, and it does not work. You need to fire the coach. If you lose to the Raiders this Sunday or lose to the remaining 4 games, the coach has to go. The coach got to go. But if you lose to the Raiders, you got to fire him on Monday. I'm sorry. You cannot continue to have Nick Sirianni running this offense, man. He don't know how to run an offense. And all these Tanner McKee fucking geeks need to go away. Go be a Bills fan. You know what I'm saying? Because Tanner McKee does not solve nothing. It just don't. And I'm tired of wasting my time with these fucking dudes, man. These guys are fucking weirdos. They're fucking losers. All single one of them are fucking idiots. Fuck them. Fuck their fucking fan base of Tanner McKee. Why don't you just go jack off to a Tanner McKee fucking poster, because he's not starting for the Eagles ever. He will be starting for another franchise team next year, and we'll find out what Tanner McKee is all about, man. But in today, he's not starting with the Eagles, man. And the Eagles should not bench Jalen Hurts. They need to bench the coach. And as a matter of fact, they need to fire the coach, and they need to fire the offense coordinator. And I would make Vic Fangio the coach for the rest of the season. That's what I do. And see what he has. And then if that don't work, and let's say it collapses, then you go get a head coach next year. If that head coach can't fix Jalen Hurts, okay, then you can talk about maybe we need to go get a quarterback. But to that, I need to see what he does with an offensive mind head coach. I want a coach who could call plays. Can I get that? Can I get that? Give me a guy that knows how to get these best out of this offense. Give me a guy that can get Devontae going. Give me a guy that can get AJ going. Give me a guy that can get the best out of Saquon Barkley. Give me a guy that can create matchups for these guys. Not a guy who can't call plays, that needs an offense coordinator every year to bail his sorry ass out, plus talent, to seem like he's a good coach. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Nick Sirianni's a fraud-ass coach who we've been lied to saying he was a guru. You're not a guru. You're a guru of being garbage. That's what you're a guru of. Being horseshit manure. Jeffrey Lurie lied to us when he said Nick Sirianni knew how to call plays. When? Where? You were supposed to fix Carson Wentz. Yeah, you wanted to fix Carson Wentz in a heartbeat, man. You're a sorry-ass head coach, bro. I have us losing the Raiders because of Kevin Batum and Nick Sirianni and Eagles are notorious for playing down to competition. Well, if Nick, listen, man. I said this before. This will be Nick's game after this Sunday. If he loses the Raiders, he'll be fired that Monday morning. My boy AK said the same thing, and I think it's happening. Jeffrey Lurie's face after that Monday game, that was a face of, you better get this shit figured out. And I guarantee you who pulled the rabbit out of the fucking locker room was either Big Dom or Jeff Lurie or Hal Roseman. One of those three said, we're not having a fucking rabbit in a fucking locker room. Okay? That's not happening. The rabbit was removed because the owner said, get that thing out of the locker room, man. I don't need to see that goddamn rabbit. Positivity, my ass. Okay? This is about Nick's job for the next 4 weeks. Nick is on the hot seat. I'm telling you right now, Nick is on the hot seat. That Super Bowl may have helped him a little bit, but not by much. When you have a talented roster like this, you better make it to the NFC Championship game at least. And if you cannot at least get to the NFC Championship game, you got to go. Because that is disgraceful. Howie Roseman has spent so much money on this offense. He's not going to look at just the quarterback. He's going to look at the head coach and say, bro, what is you here for? What is you here for? They're not going to get rid of the quarterback after 2 years of seeing him in the Super Bowl. That's ridiculous. They paid him. He's highest paid. They're not benching him because they just paid him. He has no trade clause. That is their future. They drafted him in the second round because they looked at him as Russell Wilson, where Russell Wilson was a franchise quarterback. And I don't know why people act like that Russell Wilson wasn't a good quarterback. Russell Wilson was a very good quarterback. But Jalen Hurts has so much potential, and this coach is wasting it. It's like Brett Brown wasting the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. That's what it is. Brett Brown for the Sixers wasting a talented basketball team like Michael Jordan and the Bulls. Imagine him being the coach. That's what Nick is doing. He's wasting the Hall of Fame talent. It's embarrassing. You got a weak link coach running a offense that he's no business running. And you got a weak link offensive coordinator that shouldn't have been in the fucking first place, the offensive coordinator. And we want to say, it's the quarterback. It's the quarterback. I told you. It's not the quarterback, you idiot. Tanner McKee don't solve nothing. Your coach is a weak link. Again, it's like Brett Brown wasting the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. Come on, man. It's like Brett Brown wasting the greatest basketball team of all time. That's what it reminds me of. You know what I'm saying? It's like having all-stars and you have an incompetent nincompoop who's an immature child running. Come on, man. God, man, I hate this fucking douchebag Italian bastard. I hate that dude with a passion, man. I can't wait for that fucking dude to go. Nick is the main. He is the main issue, bro. I read that comment, but he is. It's Nick. This is Nick's offense, man. And we got to come to realization. It's Kevin Patullo calling him. It's not Kevin Patullo calling plays. This is Nick's offense. And what everybody runs is Nick's offense. And Nick is a goddamn stooge now who should be fired off the spot. If we lose to the Raiders and we don't look good and Jalen Hurts continues to struggle, they're not benching him. They're going to look at the coach and say, get your bags and get the fuck on. Exactly what's going to happen. Jeff Lurie need to fire that coach Monday morning ASAP. If you lose to the 2-10 Raiders, you have to fire the coach. You got to fire the coach, man. The coach got to go because if you can't beat the freaking Raiders, who the hell you can beat? Who can you beat? Let's be realistic. If you can't beat the Raiders, you have serious issues. You got to look at the coach and say, bro, pack your bags, man. I have us losing the Raiders because Kevin Patullo, yeah. Nah, I feel you, man. I feel you. But I appreciate y'all coming on. I'm sorry for ranting, bro. But it's a joke, man. 2 times in the red zone Monday, you don't run on the ball on early downs. You walk away with nothing. Absolutely pathetic. Saquon was again. Yeah, man. And that goes back to coaching. Why are you throwing the ball in the red zone? Again, when Jalen, that we should have never been in overtime. And that is the sad part about it. We put our quarterback in situations that we shouldn't have. We wouldn't talk about these 5 interceptions if the coach knew how to game plan. And the coach don't know how to do that. We wouldn't be in this situation if you hired an offensive coordinator mind. And that's why I want Nick gone, because we don't have a head coach who understands that. The simple little details that a coach is supposed to know, he doesn't have that. Why aren't you not running the ball early downs when you're in the, like, again, that's perfect set. And I appreciate that, man. Again, that just shows you, again, Nick is a fraud. Offense is far from the type of Bible. It really starts with the play call. It starts with the play call. It's the head coach, man. The head coach is a nuisance, man. He has to freaking go. This coach will never be anything but an average coach who's getting carried and bailed out. And I'm out of it, man. I'm glad the players are not playing high level. You know what? I hope Jalen Hurts play one of the worst games ever, because honestly, it just shows the coach can't bail this team. Everybody wants the coach to be bailed out, and it's like, no. These players are giving up on the coach staff. I think that's what's happening. That's what I think. Having us losing the Raiders because Kevin Patullo, yeah. I think the coach is a moron, man. I'm sorry. The coach needs to get their step in, bro. This should be Nick's last year. After this, you need to go get a head coach. You got to go get an offensive mind head coach. I don't want a new quarterback. Go get me an offensive mind head coach, and let's see what Jalen's all about. Because I'll tell you right now, it's not just Jalen Hurts, man. Everybody says he's limited. Okay, then why did he beat Spags in the Super Bowl? He's so fucking limited, he would have lost that Super Bowl badly. Stop it, man. Stop acting like he's Brock Purdy. Stop acting like he's this bad quarterback. Stop acting like he's fucking Jimmy Garoppolo. Stop it. You're lying to yourself. You don't think Jalen Hurts can't read Davis. You're fucking lying. You're lying. You just hate on him, and that's cool. Just say you hate on Jalen Hurts, but don't sit there and say he's limited. You're lying, because he wasn't limited last year when he was in the bowl against the best defensive coordinator. I'm going to face with that garbage-ass fucking statement. He's limited. He can't really defense. Shut up, man. Fucking go lay down. Learn football. All these fucking goofy geeks. He can't run the defense. What offense? What offense are we running? This ain't an offense that we're running. We're running a shit show. That's what we're running. What offense? What scheme? What scheme? Where is Nick's scheme? I don't even know what scheme that is. What is it? Where's the play designs? Where's the routes? Where's everything? These guys are jumbled up most of the time. I saw my 2 receivers running into each other. That's a scheme? That's what Hurts supposed to be running? Holy shit. Give me a break, man. What scheme? What offense? This coach is a moron. Score prediction, Raiders 27, Eagles 20. Well, then Nick needs to go. Listen, we better be blowing out the Raiders, man. If we can't blow out, this should be a get-right game for Nick Sirianni. If he can't do it, you got to fire his ass. I'm going to be rude to you. You got to fire his ass, and then after you fire the coach, honestly, I'd sit all these players down. I even sit Jalen Hurts down because I'll let the practice squad players play. And then I would just wait into the play. I don't know. I mean, we do have a playoff game, but if you lose the Raiders, I think you lose the playoffs too. There's a good chance that we don't make the playoffs this year. If that's the case, you got to fire the coach. If you can't at least win a division or you can't even beat the Raiders, you got to go. You got to go if you lose this division. If you squander another season, you collapse, the coach has to get fired. Immediately, pronto, ASAP. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, bro. But I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. It's your boy Issa. It's not that long last year, man. Um, and I appreciate Des Eagle 9 for coming on, bro. Appreciate you for doing that, dude. You're always welcome on my channel. You know that. If anyone deserves a statue, it's NC. It's the fan base for putting up with the franchise failing them. Absolutely, I agree. It's a joke, man. It's disgraceful. You simply tank at this point. I don't know, man. No, KP is a problem. We never had this problem when Kellen Moore, Shane Steichen was here. Yeah, but we had a problem when Brian Johnson was off. I mean, this is Nick's offense, man. Nick has hired this guy to be his puppet. And you know what? These two got to go, man. We're not going to win another Super Bowl next year on it. I'm going to just be real with you. This offense is not bailing Nick out anytime soon. You know, say it is what it is, man. You know, it is. Shut up. It is what it is. But I'm going anyway, man. Flag was fly. I'm out. Go Birds, and I'll see you on Sunday. Peace out.